You mentioned the 24-hour rule a handful of times immediately you're opening asked about trap games. What are some of the specifics you're looking for this week that will give you confidence that, hey, my guys aren't falling into that trap game syndrome?
Well, I think we've all been at it long enough. I think they know, the seniors know, the veterans know how to practice, how to prepare, how to do the little things the right way. So I don't think it's a one-way conversation. I think it's more about, hey, we'll look at each other after practice and say, all right, is this where we need to be? And so I think when you get to this point where they understand what it takes to be successful, it's more of a two-way conversation. It's never about just the head coach coming before you and saying, all right, you didn't practice well today. You know, what do you guys think? Was this the kind of effort necessary for us to continue to win? And I think that's where we are at the next step of our program, is that it becomes a two-way conversation with your players.
Last week's game was so physical, such hard hitting. How do you, I guess, rebound from that to try to keep it consistent, but also, I guess, maybe accommodate or acknowledge that, hey, you guys really left a lot out there. You may need to have some extra time to build it back up.
Yeah, I really look at our schedule and talk about, Purdue, I talk about Michigan State, I talk about Michigan, I talk about, having to play them week in and week out and that physical brand of football. BYU, as I mentioned in the outset, is kind of that same kind of team where with Stanford and BYU back-to-back weeks, we've responded well. I don't know that we know how to play any other way, but to have that kind of effort necessary. So I think if we had played a bunch of spread teams, coming into this game, we'd probably be a little bit more concerned about it, but we've already played this kind of physical brand.
Without Golson today, how do you divide up the reps at quarterback in practice?
We'll make sure that he gets a lot of mental reps, and then Tommy Reese and Andrew will get probably go 60-40 today, would be my guess.
And I think a lot of people just look at stats and they see Sierra's averaging 2 yards more per carry than Theo. Could you kind of just talk about the rotation there, why it's good to play Theo and Sierra equally, regardless of somebody might just look at the stats and be like, well, wait a minute, Sierra's averaging 2 yards, he should have more reps.
I would agree. I think we're making way too much out of per carry statistics. We're looking at circumstances in the game, play calls, our matching of personnel versus the defensive personnel that's in the game. A lot of those things are not seen within the statistical numbers, so we think they're all very good backs. I think if there's any comment that needs to be made on the three running backs is we still have to continue to get more touches for George Atkinson. It's less about Sierra and Theo because they know their role. They've accepted their role. George has as well. We just think from a coaching standpoint, if there's anything amongst the three backs, we got to get George some more touches.